Hey, what's up guys? It's Marf and welcome back to another Asphalt 8 video. Yep, we're back on Asphalt 8 this time around because we are checking out update number 62. It just launched yesterday and I was very surprised with this update. Normally when we get an Asphalt 8 update, it might be a car or two, maybe some UI changes, some balance changes, but this time around, not only did we get a bunch of new cars and a whole new themed season, but we also got a remastered version of Venice, which I was not expecting, and I'm very happy to see this. We'll talk about that in a bit, but let's talk about the new cars as well. So just like with Asphalt 9's Lamborghini stuff, we have the Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider, the Diablo GT, the Reventon Roadster, and surprisingly, the new Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato, which is already in Asphalt 8, which is very funny. But yeah, that was a very recently announced car from Lamborghini, and it's very cool to see it in Asphalt 8. Hopefully it'll make its way to Asphalt 9 soon. I assume it will, considering the fact that some cars that go to Asphalt 8 go to Asphalt 9 and vice versa. So I'm very excited about this. We also did get the Ferrari 296 GTB in a car hunt, but I have no idea when that's happening. However, talking about Lamborghini for a second, because the new big thing with this update is how you will unlock this car, which is through a special event, and it works pretty much the same way as special events work in Asphalt 9, where you go through some different stages of events. Each of those stages has conditions, and as you progress through, as you get those conditions, you can unlock different rewards, and at some number of conditions, you can unlock the Reventon. Now, I have no idea if I'm going to be able to unlock the Reventon. I would really love to, because that is my favorite Lamborghini of all time. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really have very good progression in Asphalt 8 because I wasn't playing it very seriously throughout its lifespan. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to unlock this car, but you can see some footage of me test driving it here, and you can also test drive it in the first condition, or I guess the first stage of the special event as well. Now, briefly talking about the performance, and I know I'm not really qualified to talk about this, so all I'll say is that the Reventon is at rank 1862, which I believe is like the king rank in Asphalt 8. So I guess that makes the Reventon a very good car, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna leave the testing to other Asphalt 8 YouTubers because, again, I frankly don't really know what I'm talking about. But if I do get to unlock this car, I will definitely be using my ultimate upgrade for the Reventon. So yeah, hopefully I get to unlock it because that will be one of my new kings alongside the Pininfarina Battista. However, what I really want to focus on is Venice, because that track has been remastered, and in my opinion, it looks extremely well done. Now, Venice is one of the original Asphalt 8 tracks that came out when the game was released all the way back in 2013. Yes, almost 10 years ago this game was released, and so yeah, I'm very excited to see what they do for the 10th anniversary. Maybe they will remaster all of the tracks. Maybe they're releasing this one just to see how the community reacts to it. That would be very cool. It's never been done before in my knowledge. We've had some tracks go from Asphalt 6 to Asphalt 7, and we've had an Asphalt 6 track go to Asphalt 8 in the form of Monte Carlo, but that wasn't really a remaster of the track from the same game. So yeah, I was very surprised to see this because this hasn't really happened before in Asphalt as far as I'm aware, but I think they did a really good job. Now, when we talk about remastering, there's different versions of it. Different games, you know, might have something called a remaster or a remake or different things. This is well named because it's a remaster. So the layout of the track has not changed. The way that you go through the routes throughout the track have not changed. However, the visuals have been upgraded, and I think that's a very smart move. I think most of the tracks in Asphalt 8 are very well designed, so if they were to remaster more tracks, I think that just a visual upgrade is more than welcome. So when we talk about visual remaster, really what we're talking about is lighting and texture changes, but there have also been a couple of things added. For example, in front of the different buildings that you'll see me go through in the thin portion of the tracks, they've added some plants up on the walls, which looks very nice, and overall the track looks very detailed. One of the problems with developing a game all the way back in 2013 was that you had to conform to the power of the devices all the way back then. So sometimes different games might feel a bit flat because the more objects you added, the more complexity you added, and therefore the game would slow itself down. Now, because we're 10 years later, we don't have that big of a problem with adding more objects, so it does feel like they've added not only, different textures and lighting, but they've also filled the track with more actual objects and more details, and it's really nice to see. It makes the track feel way more alive, and it makes it feel lived in as a world that you can explore. So overall, I'm extremely happy. And one thing I do want to mention is if you are on a device that supports it, you should be able to load this video in 4K. And that's because I'm playing on my computer this time around, because like with Terra 9, for some reason on iOS, there's a glitch where things phase in and out, and the track sometimes just disappears from right under your tires, which I really hope they fix soon, because I think Asphalt is definitely a mobile game first, so I would like to play the Venice track on my iPhone without it freaking out. But I did play this on a computer, and that also let me realize how really well this game has still held up in terms of graphics, because I was playing on a giant monitor at 4K and it still looks pretty darn good. And of course the Venice tracks look even better now. So yeah, that is the main thing about this update. I'm very happy about it. I really hope they continue to remaster different tracks. I think I would prefer new tracks over remastered tracks, but hey, I think both of them would be very good, so I don't really care which one they add. Maybe remastering tracks just means that they can do it quicker, because it's obviously not creating a whole new track, it's just updating an existing one. So maybe that means less work for the developers. In that case, I'm very happy. So I would love to see them remaster some of the other tracks in Asphalt 8. Some of the other things they've added in this update was a remastered menu as well. I shouldn't say remastered, I guess just a rework. They've improved the UI a bit more in some areas. They've been doing this for a very long time. I don't know when they're gonna stop, because I think we could all agree that the menu changes haven't really done much. I think overall, with the big change they did last year, I believe that was good enough for me. Maybe they are on some quest for UI perfection. And we also have some different shop adjustments and a bunch of balancing changes to different cars. But something that I think is going to be very underrated is the fact that you can now skip the avatar and track showcase before a match starts. That means that when you load into a race, you can skip the avatars walking out, and you can also skip the overview of the track, which means you can race very quickly now, which I think is very underrated. I love that. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on update 62 for Asphalt 8 in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys later.